Well, those are the stats, but let's try and bring them alive and answer the questions of what is Eureka? Let's try and introduce it. And who better to do that than the head of the Eureka Secretariat, Philippe Henry. Philippe. The stage directions say that furniture and plants come on stage. Is that this or us? Anyway, we'll have a seat and we'll talk about Eureka. So, I have some questions about Eureka. Let's do this as if you were at a party, Philippe. This must happen to you. You're at a party, you meet somebody, you tell them what you do, and they say, so what is Eureka?
Well, this is a good scenario how to explain to your friends and children what are you doing, what's the meaning of this. And I just want to first highlight what Ian Campbell and Minister Skidmore said about the vision, the strategic vision, and the mission statement of it. It is about, indeed, creating a difference on the future welfare and prosperity of our countries and society and ecosystems. But more practically, when I speak to my children about Eureka, I said, and they are big children, probably the best innovation network in the world. Probably also the most singular concentration of innovation agencies and funding bodies working together, and for sure the most operational way to create a network of downstream innovation. Probably a born to help, a born to support highly innovative projects and businesses. And what better than the baseline of this conference, innovating across border for business prosperity, for business growth and the consecutive prosperity. This is what is Eureka.
Okay, good. And we're obviously very proud of the number of countries. Everybody this morning has said 65 countries here, so that's a number we're proud of. But tell us, who are actually the members of Eureka? What countries are members?
Yes, 45 countries are constituting the community, the network, the association. It is a formal association of countries, of ministries, of agencies. Of course, Europe is the backbone of Eureka. The minister reminded the creation in Paris almost 35 years ago. The backbone is Europe, not only the European Union, but more expandively the European continent, from Ireland to Russia, from Lapland to Andalusia, and also the neighbor countries. The neighboring countries of Europe are very important for international innovation collaboration. I just name a few. Israel, Turkey, for example, are very, very active partner of the Eureka family. And as it was already said by the previous speakers, the global vision, the global expansion of the Eureka organization globally is a fact, and we are very happy to count on 4 additional countries, 3 associate countries, Canada, South Africa, and Chile, and 1 partner country, South Korea. And as you said yourself, Tim, in the introduction, the vision is to continue this development across the globe. There is 1 particular country, it's not a country actually, but a strategic partner of this community, which is the European Commission, with whom all the Eureka community develop a number of win-win joint initiatives. We'll come back to that later.
Okay, good. Now this is a collection of very sensible, rational countries. They must see value to being part of Eureka. What is the value that participants get out of being members?
Well, first and above all, as I said, Eureka is a network. The network provides the value. The network, it's really a network of championing local, place-based innovation champions, innovation agencies, ministries who have the knowledge of how to do, what to do, and delivering support to the end users of the system. So the network first. Of course, they also provide funding, so the funding is also an attraction factor of Eureka. Of course, it doesn't flow across all instruments. We'll come back to that. The community is very important. You are here today, during those 3 days also, to meet people, to meet the alumni, to meet the success stories, and to meet other community members. The community of alumni of Eureka is huge, is worldwide, and is a fantastic source of opportunities for developing shared innovation and joint businesses. Last but not least, the brand value and the method of collaboration is very important. It gives a frame, and we try, by the way, to further frame it, standardize it, so that the values of this Eureka collaborative method becomes also a unique selling proposition of Eureka.
So you mentioned money. Money matters a lot in these things, but you've said Eureka is more than just about delivering money. Do you happen to know how much money, because I do actually, how much money has Eureka delivered since it was set up?
Yeah, without going into the detail, just remember 4 figures on an average annual impact of Eureka, and this is also a question about impact. More or less 1 billion of public and private money is levered through Eureka programs and instruments per year.
Each year.
It corresponds more or less to 200 projects, sophisticated, long-term, collaborative projects, and it corresponds to more or less 500 companies benefiting from those Eureka programs per year, every year. Just imagine this cumulative impact over almost 35 years makes a difference. Modest but frank difference on the market.
Now, there are many countries here who are not from Eureka members. How can they get involved?
Well, we are an innovation network, so we should apply open innovation in practice. We are also really an open network where any initiatives can be taken by literally any countries who meet the basic innovation ecosystems condition to initiate bilateral or multilateral initiatives with other Eureka member countries. We have, by the way, an instrument called Global Stars, which literally enable Eureka to apply the Eureka methodology to work with partner countries, third countries, and in the last few years there has been a lot of successful operation through Global Stars with Brazil, with Argentina, with India, Taiwan, Singapore. Jan Campbell mentioned a few of those cases. So this is really the way to, in an ad hoc basis, create collaboration, pragmatic collaboration, without necessarily becoming a member of the family and go to all family meetings.
Okay, so just because you're not from a member country doesn't mean you can't join in. Now, if you're in a company and you want to collaborate under Eureka schemes, could you just very briefly just highlight some of the ways you can do that? And I'm sure there's much more information out there in the rest of the meeting, but just headline a few things.
So we have basically 4 instruments. The Eureka Network Project instrument, which is the basic historic instrument that is very agile, very, as we call in our jargon, variable geometry. We have the Eurostars, and the minister highlighted Eurostars 2 and hopefully 3. Eureka SME flagship program. We have the Eureka clusters. I have already seen a lot of our Eureka clusters in the room, which is really the place where the big industry, new frontier, complex long-term projects are incorporated with a heavy presence of industry, and we have also Global Stars, I mentioned. We also have ad hoc pilot instruments providing a support to access to investors, investment readiness, access to overseas market, Inno-wide. So this is more or less the toolkit of Eureka. Please join us at the Eureka Academy session and in the expert bar today and tomorrow.
Good, that's the expert bar upstairs, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it's
upstairs.
A real bar, so not only expertise, but also Belgian beers.
It is a real bar?
Yes.
Oh, that's good, that's even better. Okay, so back to this, you're being asked the question at this party, what does Eureka do? What's the impact of it? If you just had to highlight in a few words what the impact of Eureka has been, just give us some key figures and facts.
This is a complex issue, and we make a lot of attention to measure the impact not only on descriptive impact of the input factor that are put into the system. I mentioned a few figures already, but also looking at the output impact result of all this, and more or less just remind 3 figures. The first is that contradictory surveys on looking at evidence of the impact of Eureka program mention something, a net growth of 15% in turnover of the companies and organization being helped by Eureka program, and the rate of market penetration increased by 66%, by 2/3 for companies and organizations being Eureka frequent flyers companies. So this is the two very important figures that we see that confirm the relevance and pertinence of spending public money for Eureka.
Okay, that's all good. I know you're excited about this conference. Just in a few words, what are you most excited about? What are you looking forward to here?
6th objective, I hope you share it. I'm coming here to get inspired by you, by the speakers, by the testimonials, by anything I could meet in a group of 2,000 smart people, rethinking strategic certainties I might have, you might have, re-questioning the collaboration strategy I apply in my daily practice or I don't apply in my daily practice. Find partners, as you said yourself, Tim. Find project, fine-tune project, make business, and have fun.
Good. Great. Well, find out more about Eureka at the various displays and upstairs, and we hope that gives you enough to kind of get going and start that networking. Thank you.